Hi, guys, DaveMadMax 6, and I am at near LAX at the Sharon Gateway, right?
Correct.
And I'm with my good friend Tamer El Guindy. Tamer, uh, welcome to Muscle Beach TV, man.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with you again. It has been a long time. I think the last time we had an interview was when I turned pro. It's like 2011.
I
So
was just gonna ask you, what year was that? Already 5 years. I can't believe it. A lot has changed since then.
oh, completely. I mean, I think a lot of things have changed on myself and then to the sport too. A lot of great changes.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here. I want to talk about this. It's been so long, and I said, you know what, the California Pro is just around the corner. Let's get together. Let's talk about what's going on with muscle contests, with the pro scene, with all those new categories and everything. So, talk to me a little bit about what's happening this year with the pro ranks and these new categories.
Well, I think the first thing and the most exciting thing that everybody wants to talk about, obviously, is the classic physique. I think the addition of the classic physique has really changed the game. I think it has been quite a level of criticism regarding how bodybuilding was going, and it was an excessive amount of muscle being judged and forgetting about symmetry and balance. And I think what happens now with the classic physiques, it truly gives an opportunity to the athletes that are want to be focused on symmetry and proportion to have a class for them. So we're really excited about it as judges, as promoters, and just giving another opportunity for the athletes out there.
Muscle Contest was actually the very first ones to have to hold the very first men's classic physique this year when Danny Hester won. Correct.
Yeah, like as soon as Mr. Mannion announced the possibility of the classic physique division, we muscle contest. We always try to be pioneers, and we try to just be jumping there and say, look, we're gonna test the waters and see how it went. And the great Danny Hester came here and won the show. It was really funny because if anybody knows Danny, he's an old school bodybuilder, but he was always very focused on proportion and symmetry, and he didn't do that well as a bodybuilder, even though has such a beautiful physique. And he comes here and wins the first classic physique show, and he was so relaxed. Typical Danny Hester.
Well, I think I had an interview with him shortly after his win, and he said, there was no. He said on the interview there was really no reason for him to keep pushing, even to get his pro card before he did. And even when he got it, he's like, "Well, what am I going to do this for? I'll never win against these monsters." So when you guys, when Jim Manning came up with that and you guys held a contest, he finally felt like, "Wow, I have a reason to improve and compete now." I think a lot of people will feel this way. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, and I think the classic physique is a true. The true meaning of what bodybuilding really is about the art and about the classic posing and the things that made all of us really love the sport of bodybuilding. And don't get me wrong, I won my pro card as a bodybuilder, but I always admire more guys such as Frank Zane, Lila Brada, really the classic
Bob
guys.
Paris,
Yeah,
all
Bob
these guys,
Paris.
yeah.
I thought those were the guys that really brought the mainstream to our sport. They made our sport famous, and I think that classic physique gives us the ability to bring us back.
So I'm glad you said that because I want to ask you something. Now, in hindsight, if you had known back then that this class was going to be, or if it happened earlier, would you have maybe stick up and is competing a little longer? Because I know you got your pro card and you really fought to get that pro card and you finally got it, well deserved. And then right after that, it's kind of like you kind of left bodybuilding and came to help John and do this. Now you're in charge of putting all the shows for Muscle Contest. You're really busy. You guys have so many shows. Do you feel like, man, if this came along, or even maybe I would have competed in it?
Well, I think, David, that's an interesting question. I probably would have competed at classic physique. I don't know if I'll continue to compete because really what happened is, bodybuilding was always my passion. I never, used that as a career or anything like that. So my plan all along was when I turned pro was to retire and focus on the business portion of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So it was already planned in your head.
Yeah, I was already kind of planning on retiring, and I always want to be a pro. But I think I'm a businessman, and I'm a senior VP for the UFC gym, and I'm the president of Muscle Contest, and I feel I can contribute a lot more to the sport as a professional athlete that actually promotes and judge shows.
I like that. I'm glad we had that talk because I've always wondered why you actually stopped so soon. Okay.
Well, I was looking at, my great friend, and I love him to death, Flex Lewis, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go on the stage against that monster, you know. So let me just kind of like be a fan here promoting the show, and he wins the shows. So
Okay. Tamer, talk to me about this big weekend. You guys have a lot going on this weekend. Obviously, the Cal has always been one of the biggest show in California. It's a state show, and a lot of the greats have won it. Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone. I mean, not Kevin Levrone, but Chris Cormier. A lot of guys who have done very well in the Olympia have won the Cal in the past. But it was only the amateur portion. Now we actually have a pro part of it. So talk about that.
well, I think it was fundamental for us to bring back pro bodybuilding here to California, the birth of the Mecca where everything started, and you need to bring it back with the Cal that, like you said, has so much history on the amateur level, but we're hoping to get a heritage and the history now on the pro. I think the first year was a great success, but I don't know if you had seen the lineup. I know you have. We have an unbelievable lineup, like it's 22.
It's deep,
athletes.
man.
It's really deep, and I can't wait to see who's gonna capture the second Cal Pro show here in the Mecca of bodybuilding. You know.
I'm really glad because, since the Iron Man, which basically was the first show of the year, we started every season, is no longer, we had the Flex Pros for a couple of years, but then there was something missing. So you need to have a show in Santa Monica or Venice or, in SoCal. Something's missing if you don't have it. So I'm really glad you guys are doing this.
Oh, thank you, and we're glad to have that. I think for us is all about giving back to the sport. We see the athletes as our customers, and my job is very simple. When somebody comes here and compete, I want him or she to have the best experience of their life, because we build friendships for life through this sport. I hope to one day me and you are 65 years old and just hanging back and looking at all the sacrifice and pain that we went through. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. You also have kept this a family affair. I'm really good friends with your friend Tarek, which works for Gold's Gym with the same franchise you were before UFC, and now he's with you doing all this. You actually brought him along, so I think it's really cool to actually work with family and have him there with you all along. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having people that you trust and they're great leaders and business people is very, very important. I think the new direction of the sport is for us to continue to grow. I know Tyler Mannion just finished and just graduated from business school, and I heard that he's gonna do his MBA, and I got my MBA here from Chapman, and this is the future of the sport. It's like we have a beautiful sport, but now how can we make this even more professional, even better? And I think bringing somebody like Tarek along that has vast experience running gyms, running large facilities, managing people, that's the kind of people that we need to make things better.
And he's so excited and he's so passionate. He loves sports. He's telling me he knows all the stats and he knows who won which USA at what time. And he's really like that. Johnny Drummo Bodybuilding, we love you, man. And we're really glad he calls himself that. He's awesome, Tarek. He's a good guy. And so I'm really glad that he's with you.
Well, he loves you to death. And you and him go a long ways on the interviews and things like that. And that's what bodybuilding all about. It's like creating those kind of friendships among ourselves. So I can't wait for the Cal. I can't wait to see you there and kind of cheering up and giving your opinion. And I'm sure, being a judge, the hardest part of judging is that I only can give the first place to one guy. And then I have 21 huge, humongous dudes that just want to kill me after.
I don't want your job.
Because they think they won, So my life is under stress at all times, David, now, So.
Well, I hope you're getting paid for this handsomely, but maybe that's a question for John. Is John here today, or?
He's here. He should be coming here a little bit tonight, and making sure the athletes are okay. And John has done a phenomenal job developing muscle contest. I think my job is now take it to the next level.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Tamer, thank you so much for doing this interview. It's been too long. I hope we do it some more. If you guys are in the Los Angeles SoCal area, we are in Culver City, correct? Veteran Memorial. And when does it start tomorrow, the prejudging?
Prejudging starts at 10. The pros are going to be there at 12. And night show starts at 5. And the pros go on there at 7.
Boom. So if you guys are in the area, come and check out the Cal amateur/professional and come see these guys, because I've seen them at Goals and they're in shape, and there's a lot of them from all over the world. So this is DaveMadMax 6 for Muscle Insider with Tamer El Guindy, and then we're out, you guys, and then thank you for watching.